Hello, and thank you for your interest in learning more about the dispositions that form part of our ACS International School's definition of learning and provide important cornerstones of our expected school-wide learning results. At ACS International Schools, we define learning as the growth and development in knowledge and understandings, skills, and dispositions. I'm Ben Wren, the head of the Center for Inspiring Minds, and this brief video has been developed to provide information about how our school community has expressed its ideas about the importance of dispositions through its philosophy statements and more recently in the discussions that have taken place at the Big Thinks, at the First Education Summit, and in the classrooms of our campuses. In this third of 3 short videos, we will be focusing on one part of our definition of learning, in this case dispositions, and sharing illustrative excerpts from our campus-level philosophy statements, from our Big Think documents and discussions about important and distinctive features of international school education, from our Education Summit documents and discussions about a shared ACS International Schools philosophy, and from student engagement activities recently carried out on our campuses. When we talk about dispositions for learning, we're referring to the development and practice of habits of mind, or qualities of character, that indicate a learner's state of readiness or tendency to act in a certain way when interacting with others or managing their own actions or learning. If we begin by looking at our former campus-level philosophy statements and the Big Think and Education Summit documents and discussions, we find that there are extensive references to a range of different types of dispositions. Based on a disposition framework suggested in the literature, we have grouped our dispositions under 3 headings: learning to be a responsible member of a learning community, learning to manage one's own learning, and learning to challenge one's own learning. Let's start with our first disposition category, learning to be a responsible member of a learning community. Dispositions in this category include honesty, trustworthiness, kindness, respect of truth, ethical, integrity, and fairness. Let's look at several illustrative examples of this category of dispositions. The ACS Hillingdon philosophy states the importance of reinforcing core ethical values by emphasizing personal and social responsibility. Participants at Big Think 2 noted that school-based learning should prepare learners to recognize ethical alternatives and act ethically. And the ACS Cobham philosophy emphasizes the importance of facing problems within a framework of fairness and shared values. The second dispositions category is learning to manage one's own learning. Dispositions in this category include patience, self-discipline, managing disappointment, managing self-gratification, assertiveness, and self-efficacy. Self-efficacy refers to having confidence in exerting control over one's own motivation, behavior, and interactions with others in the public domain. Self-efficacy plays an important role in how learners approach goals, tasks, and challenges. Again, let's look at several illustrative examples of this category of dispositions. In its philosophy statement, ACS Doha states that it supports the personal exploration of the responsible balance between intrinsic and extrinsic values. In its philosophy statement, ACS Cobham states that every learner should develop a strong sense of self-esteem and personal integrity. And the Big Think participants recommended that school-based learning should prepare and empower learners to take effective action professionally, socially, and in other ways. The third disposition category is learning to challenge one's learning. Dispositions in this category include persistence, curiosity, and creativity. Big Think participants noted that students should value and practice persistence, and that students should have the commitment to persist with difficulty. The literature review for Big Think 2 noted that creativity and its related skill of innovation are described as applying a wide range of knowledge and skills to the generation of original and worthwhile products. And for this reason, also noted that students should value and practice creativity. This quick overview of the dispositions we have identified as central to teaching and learning is offered as a starting point for discussions about our expected school-wide learning results. The challenge is to envision the futures we are preparing learners to engage with, and to ensure that we are focusing on the timeless habits of mind and qualities of character they will need to succeed in a rapidly changing world. To learn more about the learner outcomes related to dispositions, which are described in the campus's individual philosophy statements, the Big Think documents and discussions, the Education Summit 1 documents and discussions, and the student feedback gathered in early February 2016, please refer to the Learner Outcomes Analysis Sheet available on the SIM website. Thank you for your interest in helping to develop the ACS International School's expected school-wide learning results. Additional videos have been recorded to introduce the knowledge and understanding and skills that have featured in past documents and discussions and will likely feature in the expected school-wide learning results. Please look for the recordings on the SIM website.